What's up, guys, and happy Friday. Want to do just a little portfolio review here today. People seem to really be liking those videos. I want to quickly touch on everything that happened in the AMA yesterday. I wasn't actually able to watch it live because I've been really busy with my in real life work. One of my clients, I've been working on something for them for a year, and finally we got past some barriers, which opens up a new revenue stream that should be multi-millions of dollars once we get it fully ramped. So I'm super stoked about that. Like I said, I've been spinning my wheels on it, trying to get traction on it for a year, and finally everything fell into place. So that's going to be good. It's going to be lucrative for him. It's going to be lucrative for me. So anyway, haven't had as much time to get some videos out this week as I have in the past. Of course, with the traveling and everything, I got a little bit behind on my work as well. But I'm going to just keep chipping away at it. Next week, I've got a couple other plays. There's a brand new miner that's launching. I believe it's on Monday. So I'm probably going to jump into that one. Also, I got into ARC. Some of you guys are already familiar with it. I know a lot of you guys are already in it. I've gotten 20 DMs from different community members saying, hey, will you cover this project? I've continuously said no. Originally, when it came out, it was touted as like a fork of Furio. And at that time, I wasn't really interested in getting into a fork of Furio. But it's not a fork. The code is completely independently written. It's got some elements of drip. It's got some elements of Furio and a handful of other things. So pretty interesting protocol. You've seen some big YouTubers cover it lately. I decided to get in. I've been learning the ecosystem. I'll probably launch that video on Monday so you guys can check it out if that's something you're interested in. I've been looking for some more long-term plays, not just the miners. I do like those, but I also want more long-term plays besides Drip and the Animal Farm and Furio. So this seemed like the best option out there for me. That's why I'm covering it. Kind of excited about it. Looks like they've got a really good roadmap built out. Anyway, let's talk about Drip. Price looks terrible. Drip is down to 28 cents now, so it's fallen a few cents a day. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Continued delays. Let's go over the AMA. So, this is worth, right now, it's worth about half of what I've got in. So considering the taxes and everything, if it doesn't stay at this level or above, I'll never ROI in Drip. So hopefully some of this stuff actually starts coming out soon, but it's not going to happen now. So in the AMA yesterday, he had several different updates for the Animal Farm. I won't discuss those too much. Scratchy says the devs are working on testing, auditing the contracts and all that stuff. He's planning for this to come out in late April, which means May at the earliest, probably June or July. So, by then, Drip will be a few cents. So hopefully the other developments happen before then, because that's too long to wait. At that point, Drip will almost be uninvestable. The dog's roulette date, the date that it's actually going to come out is to be determined. He said that the UI is done, of course, but the contracts had some slight errors, so they had to adjust those. So he's looking for an early March launch and wants to do a promo on the game. Promotional periods at this point in DeFi, when the people you're really going to get in are likely already in the ecosystem. I don't know if I understand that. Maybe like a week-long lead-up time, but outside of that, I don't think it personally makes sense, but what do I know? I just do marketing for a living. But if he is looking to launch that in early March, this marketing campaign that he wants to do would have to start probably like in the next week, so it would have to be done. So I would be surprised if it gets launched in March at all, just knowing the timelines. Forex Standard Time is normally delayed at least a month, if not two, and if they're still making changes to the contract and everything, and I don't think it's going to be done next week to be able to come out in early March. But we'll see. I mean, I just want to be pleasantly surprised. But I'm not stupid, right? I've been down this road for the last year. And if it's taught me anything, it's taught me that we should expect delays, which isn't a big deal in and of itself. That stuff is going to come out whenever that stuff comes out. And hopefully it works flawlessly. The only issue is that by then, the drip price will be extremely low. So we've been in this constant trend down, like I've talked to you guys in the past. Nothing's going to change that until utility comes out, or at least a new UI or something to get people to believe that the price could actually be higher tomorrow and not lower, which has been the constant trend. So more delays are kind of like a death sentence. I just hope something comes out soon. Single asset lending, of course, is still coming out, but that's a ways down the road. But he did say the mini DAO is supposed to come out soon. So that will come with the Scratchy raise in the end of March or April. So they still need to get that all set up to where you can buy your REAP tokens. And it sounds like you're also going to have to get maybe dogs or pigs and hold those to be able to get into this DAO. So that'll be cool. Hopefully it doesn't take them too long to get that set up. I'd really like to see this sooner or later. I think with all the delays, we've probably lost a lot of investors along the way who just aren't going to play in the ecosystem anymore. And that's really unfortunate because it's still a bear market and probably will be all year. So all of those investors that we already had on the hook, that were already fully bought into the ecosystem and thought everything was going to continue to perform, it's hard when you lose those. No matter how you slice it, there is what you would call a customer acquisition cost here. It's very standard in the marketing world. You should always know what your customer acquisition cost is, and in this scenario, we've got one as well. It costs us money and time and effort to bring every investor into the system, get them onboarded, bring capital into the system, and every time someone leaves the ecosystem, you now have to spend new time, effort, and funds to onboard the next user. So the more people we can get excited about this and keep in the ecosystem, the better. The further we go down the road, the lower this price gets, the less people that want to be involved in the animal farm and drip ecosystems, the harder it is going to be to battle back. Now, I know there's still a bunch of diehards out there. I'm still really stoked at what the possibilities are here, but I'm not an idiot. We are definitely at the threshold where something needs to happen that hasn't happened for the last year, and it needs to be a catalyst for the positive to start moving drip in the upward direction. We got to see a trend reversal. That trend reversal will come with utility. If we're not going to get utility for a couple of months, you're going to be able to buy a maxed wallet with a few $1,000s. And then at that point, how do you compete with that? You got a bunch of people coming in just purchasing max wallets. Of course, they're paying the taxes, but then all they're doing is draining the system. To me, it's just a rough math problem, and I hope we get it sorted out. And the way to get it sorted out is to actually release some utility. So we covered a few other things. Says he's got a game plan. If he's no longer around, he's got some stuff in place that this ecosystem could live on, which is good news. He did say he's not interested in doing certain casino stuff like a sports book or sports betting. Says he's not into it. He doesn't want to use user funds for that because he thinks it's a dirty business. So don't plan on seeing that in the near future. The auto compounding for the pig pen deal is going to come with Scratchy, so that's still a few months out. And then the drip drop draw lottery, whatever you want to call it, the drawing, for my understanding, is pretty much completely ready. So releasing that would be great. That would be something at least. Shout out to the DAO members who got together and put that together in a pretty short amount of time. It may not be up to par with the stuff Forex is creating, obviously probably not, right? But it'll be something. It'll be something that actually helps the ecosystem. We got Droplet that'll help. We got Guardians of the Reservoir. We got a lot of these external teams doing their best to try to juice the price, try to keep the ecosystem alive until some of this new utility could come out. But of course, that stuff isn't going to work forever. It helps, but it's not a replacement for the utility. So we'll see what happens. I am still super optimistic about what is possible in the future. I am, however, concerned that what we saw last year of continued delays and basically missing most timelines. I thought since we had all the teams in place that might actually change this year, and we were just going to see a much different team build out and execution style in regard to all elements of the ecosystem, because you got separate devs, working on Scratchy, separate devs working on Drip, and then the animal farm. So because all those different entities are moving full speed, I thought we'd get some stuff released a little bit faster. But the next thing that's possible for us to get, it sounds like, is going to be drip, drop, draw. So man, I just hope they stealth launch that thing in the next few days, and then we can get some sort of momentum going. Without momentum, nothing will change. This price will continue to go down at the rate it has gone down. There's nothing that's going to change that. You have to come out with utility. You have to come out with one of these side projects at least that's big, like the drawing that people will want to get into. It'll get a lot of traction, just so we can see some sort of price lift and just get people moving around the ecosystem. So many of us are diehards and we've been riding this out the entire time. But the way the drip ecosystem is designed, how it mints tokens, you can't last forever. It's not like you're just in like a Bitcoin or a token or something like that you're just like hang tight, the price is super low, but during the next bull run it's going to go back up. In this case, we're actually minting tokens, so we do need to provide the utility as quickly as possible. Anyway, I know that wasn't the most positive thing, and maybe a little bit somber. I was hoping to get some really good news for Drip and the AMA, but it seems pretty much the same thing. The stuff is still coming. It will be further delayed. When it comes out, of course, it'll be amazing. But what's going to happen in between that time, I frankly don't know. So it is what it is. Animal farm, I did buy some more dogs. Pigs are down to 63, dogs are down to 16. TVL's dropped considerably down to 86 million, but that's still really solid, especially for a DeFi project. Most of them don't get anywhere near this. Like I said, the only thing I really bought recently was some additional dogs. I'm just lining up my pools here. Got 142 over here in the auto compounding and 156 here. So pretty much right at 300 dogs. Again, I'm just going to keep growing this position. Animal farm is going to be a long-term play for me. So I don't really see any issues here. Pig pen dividends are down a little bit, but I'm still getting a decent amount of money from that every day. And then all my other positions, my farm position, everything's down a little bit because the asset prices are down, but it's still paying. My main concern is just drip. If we can get that up to $1, $2, something like that, then it'll be really solid. I'll know that at some point I can actually ROI from the investment I made there. I can roll it over into longer term plays. I've got other additional wallets that I keep feeding. So we'll see what happens. I know some of you guys are in the exact same position as me. The week that I maxed out my wallet, I had at least 3 other people DM me and say, hey, I just maxed my wallet out too. Some people are maxing out their second wallet. And I know there's a lot of you that are gaining in the ranks fast as far as how many drip you have in your faucet, because the prices are so low. You know, you can pick up a 1, 2, 3,000 drip for basically nothing. So good for you guys. Crossing our fingers that we're going to see some good news over the next month or two. Can't wait till we're in a position to where the chart's rising. We've got scratchy. We've got reasons for YouTubers like us who are really doing all the marketing for drip to come out with new content, drop new videos, do exciting stuff. Because you guys can imagine, in many respects, I make the same video over and over again when I'm doing the drip updates. So I'm really looking forward to covering scratchy, buying some of these lotto tickets live on camera, scratching them off, splitting up the winnings. I want to collaborate with other YouTube channels to do the same thing. Maybe whoever wins the most, their team gets the biggest airdrop, whatever. There's a million possibilities. We just have to produce some of this utility. On to the other plays. Just so you guys know, Dollar Beans did die, so they ran out of capital. Of course, these miners, they don't last for that long. If you got in when I got in, then you ROI'd. I know that because I spoke directly with my admin and several other people in my chat group and several other people in my DMs, and they all said that they ROI'd and made some extra cash. So that's good in the DeFi world. I'm just happy that I can bring you some opportunities to actually make some money while everything else is slowed down. If you got in when I got in, you should also have ROI'd in baked beans. Today, a little bit later, today, this is going to drop to 0%, so I'm going to get my claim. Then I'll deposit more. I think this can last a little bit longer unless people start redepositing. It's about down to 620,000. So that's about half of what it was at its peak. So there's another claim or two left for everybody here, I believe. If people keep redepositing funds, of course, it will last for longer. If they don't, it will drain a little bit faster. But if you got into baked beans again, when I got in, you've already ROI'd. So congratulations, another win for us. It's good to have those because we're dealing with rug pulls and a million other things in this DeFi space where things just aren't paying off like we hoped they would. So it's nice to just get a little extra juice from some of these other DeFi projects. Purple Beans is still rocking. There is a new miner that's going to launch on Monday, so I'm interested in that one. This one, of course, is on Matic. They still have 13,648 Matic in the contract balance, so it's got a little bit longer to last. I wouldn't say a long time, so make sure that you've ROI'd in there. Again, with the percentage daily ROI, if you got in when I got in, you should have ROI'd in Purple Beans, or you should be real close. Like this claim should get you over the edge. So that's good news, another win. Just make sure that you are taking profits responsibly. Make sure that you get to ROI status, and then you can do whatever you want. Droplet has also been printing for me. So this is another project that, of course, supports drip, so it certainly helps. They're sending money to the tax vault every time you sell GDS. So I've been loving it. I just came in here. I staked GDS and BUSD. Of course, you buy that on PancakeSwap. If you need the contract address for the GDS token or the lit token, you can go into their Telegram or come into mine, and I'm happy to share it in there as well. But you buy those, you create the LPs. If you guys don't know how to create LPs, it's probably been a while since I did a video on this. So if you want to know how you create these liquidity pairs on PancakeSwap, comment down below that you don't know, and I'll make another separate video on it just showing the process on that, because it's really simple once you get it. As soon as you've done it once or twice, you'll never have to ask again. But the first time it is a little bit confusing and you want to mess anything up. So anyway, got the LPs, stuffed them in here, earning 4% a day and 3.35 here. So those funds are just racking up. I take what I earn and I stake it over here. These are my golden drip shares, and this earns me lit. Then I can restake the lit or whatever I want to do with it. So anyway, shout out to Droplet, still paying out just as good as anything else is paying me right now. Mischief of Fortune, like clockwork, things still moving. I still have 6 days, 3 hours until I can make my next claim, but all I'm doing is reinvesting some of that back into the system, and yeah, a couple more months, all ROI. This isn't a really fast game. Plan on it basically, taking you the year. So plan on being in this for a full year. It's really conservative as far as the payouts with 1% and how everything works. They've got some collateral hypothecation going on. So if you need a link to this one, it's down below. Again, this one is Crypto Richie, goes by Crypto Mischief on YouTube in partnership with Crypto Craig, and they do the whole Fortune Hunters ecosystem, which all the projects have been doing really well. Cat's an interesting one. I'm just still compounding. So we'll see what happens with this. I don't know what's going to happen with the regulatory issues that they're working on. Again, super high risk. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Once they release everything, hopefully I can take some funds out and get ROI back. But let's see. I'm just being cautiously optimistic on this one as well. Like I said, a couple other things coming up next week. I've got the ARC video that's going to come out. I've got a miner that I'm going to get in. And I've got some other videos that I need to make, a ledger video, a bunch of stuff. So anyway, it's kind of stacking up, but I need to keep chopping away at the content because there is at least a dozen videos that you guys have requested that I still need to smash out. So that's it, I think. One more thing, I'm like a few subscribers away from hitting 6,000 subscribers. I think I'm like 10. So if you watch the content, you made it this far, you think it's valuable, if you wouldn't mind, I would like to get over that 6,000 threshold. So click the subscribe button below. Again, you're not going to get any emails or marketing or anything. All it's going to do is show up in your sidebar. When you click subscriptions, my video will be popping up. So that's it. Hoping for more good news in DeFi. The more stuff that gets developed and the more stuff that gets released by honest devs, the better for the space. We need some good news in all of our lives. Hope you're having a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Happy investing.